Hey guys, how's it going? It's Janie over at Janie Sweets, and in this episode I'm coming at you with a Breakfast at Tiffany's inspired cake. I made this cake for a dessert table that I worked on a while back. It was Breakfast at Tiffany's baby shower. And a lot of you guys don't know this about me, but I also make different kinds of desserts like macarons and cake pops, chocolate covered Oreos. So if you guys are interested in learning how to make those, let me know. I'd be happy to show you, but this video is about the cake, so let's get started. So first things first, I'm getting started on my square cake. I have baked a 6-inch cake and I am going to crumb coat and fill it with my raspberry buttercream. It's just my vanilla buttercream with some raspberry puree, and then I'm going to sandwich the cake in between two boards so that I can ice it in my vanilla buttercream. And I've done that just so that I can have sharp square corners, because I found that if I just do it with just a regular spatula, it doesn't really work. So let me show you how I mean. So I'm just going to grab my bench scraper and scrape against the board, the cardboard, and it gives it like a sharper corner. Then I'm gonna pop that into the fridge and get started on my 10-inch round cake, and that's just vanilla cake, raspberry buttercream filling, and crumb coat, and then a vanilla buttercream icing. And I'm doing the same for my 8-inch cake. Vanilla cake, raspberry buttercream filling and crumb coat, and then vanilla icing. Then I'm going to roll out some turquoise or Tiffany blue colored fondant, quite thin, and I'm going to cover my square cake with that. So I'm just gonna lift the fondant and place it over the cake. And I found this trick on Pinterest, and I cannot remember where exactly I found it, but what you do is you just cover the cake and leave some hanging on the side, and then grab two fondant smoothers and press them until the edge comes off, and that's just gonna give you a sharper corner. So again, let me show you. You just grab the two and press against it, and it literally pops right off. I thought that was genius because I hate covering square cakes. It's so hard, and I don't really like paneling, so I didn't really like that. You see how this side is sticking out a little bit more? You can always grab a pair of scissors and cut that out, but if it's not really sticking out too much, you can just grab your fondant smoother and go ahead and press against it, and you know, the seam comes right off. So then I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my 10-inch cake, and I'm also gonna cover that in my turquoise or Tiffany blue colored fondant, and grab my two fondant smoothers and work the corners to give it a sharper edge, and then clean it off with a pizza wheel. I found this little tool at Michael's. I'm pretty sure you can find it online. It's just an embossing tool to give you like that crisscross quilting pattern, and I'm just gonna press against the cake with my fondant smoother, and then I'm gonna grab a scribing tool and like press more on it to give it like a better indentation. And don't worry about the air bubbles that you see. I do go in with like a little toothpick, and poke them out at the end. Then I'm going to use the same method with my 8-inch, but this time I'm going to cover it in some white fondant. So just go ahead and cover it, cut the excess off with your pizza cutter, and fuss around with the edges to give it a sharper look. And then I've gone ahead with that quilting embossing tool and did the same thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and make the indentations a little harsher with my on my clay tool. Then I have a white strip of fondant that I'm going to cut into a 1-inch wide. Using a ribbon cutter for that, and I've done the same thing again with some turquoise colored fondant, and I'm gonna put some water at the top of my square cake, and I'm just gonna create a lid for the cake. If I was gonna do it again, I'd probably use a ruler at the bottom to make it straighter, because it was quite difficult and I had to go back and fuss around with it to push it up. But you know, it's me nitpicking. Then go ahead and lay the white one across just to look like ribbon on top of a box. And I went ahead and made my bow off camera, but it's super easy to make. You can definitely look it up online, or if you want to know, if you want me to make a video, I can definitely do that on how to make a bow. Then I am struggling with some white fondant to cover my board, because I didn't want to open another package and that's all I had, so I made it work. So just go ahead and cover your board, and then use the Tiffany blue ribbon with some hot glue and glue it around the board, and there you go. It looks super nice and neat. Then you can go ahead and assemble your cake. So start with your 10-inch cake, put it at the bottom, and dowel it with either wooden skewers or the fat bubble tea straws, and just cut it to size, so flush to the cake, and then add some water at the top. You can also add royal icing, and place the cake right on top. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my 8-inch. I'm just going to dowel it, cut it flush to the cake, and then place my square cake. Now, if I could do this over again, I probably would use a smaller square cake, only because you're gonna see it kind of comes off the edges. But I didn't have a choice at that point. I had to go with it. So, but I think it still looked good. Oh, and here you see me taking off the straw, the bow, only because I didn't dowel the middle, and I realized I'm gonna drive with it pretty far. So I like to put a skewer straight through all 3 cakes, and I use a hammer to hammer it down past the boards, and then I'm just gonna place my little bow right back on top. And there you have it, guys. This is how you make a Breakfast at Tiffany's inspired cake. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did. Also, don't forget to let me know if you would like to learn how to make different kinds of desserts. Check out my last video right here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video. My socials are at Janie Sweets. I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.